Hi, friends. Welcome to Direct Impact Broadcasting. The network of growth and transformation presents S.O.S for Leaders, where your host, Tawana Wilson, will be sharing leadership and personal growth strategies. Let's jump right in.
Hi, friends. Welcome to S.O.S for Leaders. I am your host, Tawana Wilson. I am the CEO and founder of Trendy Elite Coaching and Consulting Services. In this podcast, my goal is to give you practical tips that you can use in both your personal and professional life. In today's episode, we will be focusing on a word that you can use to make your year amazing. What we know to be true is what you get focused to is what comes to fruition. And so as you go through this year, you will be focused on many goals. You will have dreams that you are trying to bring it to fruition. You will have family goals that you will be working on, and it can get to be a bit overwhelming. And one of the things to make it simple is just to focus on a word that you can use to speak to the kind of year that you hope to have. And why this is so important, because it's easy. It's easy when you just have one word that you can focus on, and it kind of becomes your mantra for the year, right? And so as you embark on the many challenging things that you'll have on your journey, you will want to think about what is it, the one word or phrase that will help you make this the best year yet. Why is this important? This is important because, one, we are wanting to keep our goals in the front of mind. We are want to make them come to fruition. And when you choose a word, what it does for us is it does a few things. One is simplistic in nature, and our mind likes things that are simple. With all the crazy things that are happening, making to-do lists, going through a bunch of resolutions that we might have had, we want to keep things simple, and that's what choosing one word to signify for our year will do for us. It keeps it simplistic. It gives us focus. So the word becomes the center point of all you do for the year. So whatever challenges that you may come up against, any ideas then that you need to bring to reality, having a focus word will do just that. It provides focus. It also defines your intentions for the year. So your word should speak to whatever is your inherent goal. What is your direction for your path? What course of action do you want to go? What direction are you trying to go in? So it defines your intentions for the year. So when you think about choosing a word that speaks to what you want to do, here's a few things to think about, that are a few questions to think about that might help with choosing that word when you think about, embarking on the rest of this year. So have a word that speaks to the kind of person that you hope to be by the end of the year. So maybe have a word that speaks to who you are as a person, or the person that you want to be, or maybe you have somebody that you look up to. And what is a word that you would use to describe that person? Do you have a goal that you would like to accomplish? If so, you can use this focus word to kind of be a beacon of hope for accomplishing that goal, and allow it to guide you in the direction of accomplishing that goal. Are you trying to shift from certain behaviors that have not served you well? So maybe that focus word is, for a behavior that you no longer want to have, that no longer speaks to who you are. A word that describes your shift, how you are shifting to your next. Or maybe you pick a word about people that you look up to, some of those people that you look up to that may be brave or courageous or able to work a room in their networking or have excelled in their careers or have been model parents or have had good marriages. Maybe you choose a word that describes them for something that you hope to attain for your own life. And then once you have your word, own it. There's no rule saying that you have to stick to it, and you can't change it in case that word doesn't serve you well. But pick something that does suit you, something that you can, have that positive affirmation around, something that you can say every day when you are thinking about your goals and your word. And so that word, it should reach or speak to your goals, as originally said. Also aspire you to act. You want to be able to, in all things, act. It's enough to say a word, but really once you put it into action is when you really start to see the magic happens. And that word can also serve as a roadmap. So when I thought about my word for 2020, my last year's word was connection. And so in all things, I wanted to be connected, whether that was connected to my friends and relationships, whether I wanted to be connected with my church. I just wanted to get back to those things that were important to me. I felt like I kind of got busy with work and with the day-to-day of life. And so I felt kind of disconnected in some regard on things in my personal space, as well as my career. So that was my goal, or my word for last year, was connection. And that word really served me well. And I really strive to do that. Connecting with people last year, I was intentional about sending people greeting cards, birthday cards, thinking of you cards, in a way of staying connected to my relationships with people. And so it taught me a lot, because when I think about just a simple card or a simple note, you never know the impact that something like that can have on somebody else's life. And so it was because of my focus word that allowed me to be able to do that and connect with people. And so I wanted to continue to build upon that for 2020. And I still have connection ingrained in me, and I'm still holding on to that word and the value that came with it. But my word for 2020 is intentional. And so my saying is being intentional in 2020. And the reason why I picked intentional is because there are times when, you have an idea that you want to do, or people that you maybe want to meet. And my focus is to be intentional about reaching those goals, or that one goal, meeting the people that I want to meet, whether it's in my professional space or personal space, spending time with people that I want to spend time with, and being intentional about making sure that we have something on the calendar, making sure that I am being purposeful about uh, being intentional. And so I wrote down a few little things as a reminder. So what I did is I took my focus word of intentional, and I put it on a postcard that I actually look at every day. So I put it on a postcard. I look at it. It has my picture on it, and it says intentional in 2020. And it has being purposeful in word and action. And so that's really, what I am striving to do this year, is being purposeful. Living a life that is meaningful and fulfilling. What I know to be true is that tomorrow is not guaranteed. So I can't wait until tomorrow to happen to say, okay, I'm going to be intentional about doing something tomorrow. What happens if tomorrow never comes? So living a life with no regret. If there's trips that I want to go on, or people that I want to meet, or career aspirations that I want to do, or memorable moments that I want to have with my family, I want to make sure that I am doing all that I can do each and every day to make those come true. Making thoughtful choices in my life, actively interacting and engaging in all that I do. So showing up and being present in all that I do. So it's not enough to show up, but you need to show up and be present. So if I'm meeting with people for dinner or coffee, I am cognizant about not having my phone out, not getting on my phone, because my time with people is precious, as their time is precious, for us finding the right time to get together and connect. And I want to value that, and I want them to know that I value that and I take that seriously. And so I try not to be distracted by my phone and other things that could give the appearance as though I'm not interested, and only giving energy to those resources that add value to my life. So if it doesn't add value to my life, then I don't want to spend my minutes on those things. And so I just encourage you today to find that focus word. If you don't have that focus word already, find a word that you can look to each and every day to make this year better, that can speak to the goals you want to reach, or the person you want to become, or the behaviors that you are trying to get rid of. It's time to move forward. And the best thing, easiest thing to do is have a focus word that will help us reach or speak to our goals, who we want to be, and inspire us to take action. So I thank you for tuning in to another episode of SOS for Leaders. If you want to stay engaged with me, I do have 2 Facebook groups that you can join. One for high performing women leaders called the Trendy Elite Leadership Tribe. And I also have one called Tidbits with Coach T. Wilson. Those are both free groups that you can get ongoing professional and personal tips that you can use that will allow you to be better in both your personal life as well as your career. Have an amazing day, and talk with you soon.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of SOS for Leaders, where Tawana shared nuggets of wisdom that you can use to win in life. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and connect on LinkedIn. And remember, the secrets of success in your life resides inside of you. When you know what your strengths are, you can utilize them to live an impactful and influential life.